This week, the Echo Show 5 gets owned in a hacking contest, Facebook bugs out iOS, and of course there are some new product releases, and we're going to talk about all of it as we, together, as a people, check it out. Welcome to another sensational Saturday. This is Mike, and this is Mike Text It Out, the #1 news show on YouTube on my channel. Yeah, that's a thing. And I'm here to talk about the latest and greatest news that happened this week. So let's jump into our first story. So there was this hacking contest that happened last week. You know, it's where a bunch of hackers get together and they try to crack some popular devices, and they did just that with the Echo Show 5. Basically, the Echo Show 5 is running a browser that's based off of an older version of Google's Chromium that hasn't been patched for certain exploits. So basically, they were able to hijack the device when it was connected to a malicious network, which of course is scary, but hopefully we're all in our home networks, you know, safely having our devices behind firewalls and all kinds of protection. But you know, sometimes your network could possibly be compromised, and it is scary to think that someone can get access to a device that can listen and see you at the same time. Two things. Sorry. Anyway, Amazon said now that they're aware of this issue, they're going to be working on a patch for it, which hopefully just means updating their browser to a more recent version of Chromium to fix this issue. They also hacked a Sony TV and one of Netgear's routers. But you know what wasn't hacked in the hacking contest? Facebook's smart screen device, the Facebook portal. And that's because Facebook's not going to let somebody else hack their devices. They hack their own devices. Just like in our next story, where there was a bug on the Facebook app in iOS when you were watching stories and you rotated the screen, it actually opened your camera and showed you all your photos and stuff. So basically the bug just caused the camera app to open for those people who gave Facebook permission to access their camera, which is probably a lot of people because you kind of have to if you upload photos or take the photos directly in the Facebook app. It didn't really do much harm, but you know, it could have been one of those things that could possibly have been a lot worse, especially if other people were able to access the camera or the photos. So for now, it's just a harmless bug. Facebook says they're working on a fix for it. But it's good to be aware of these things, just in case you see something weird. Don't freak out about it, but at the same time, freak out about it and consider what apps you're giving access to what things on your smart device or smartphone, and keep it smart. Speaking of other news, Disney Plus launched this week. We've had it since day one. I think it's awesome. There's a lot of great shows up there. I'm super excited to rewatch Recess, and apparently so are 10 million other people, as they've already passed 10 million subscribers in their first week. So that's a big kudos and congratulations to Disney Plus. I feel like it has in a lot of ways overshadowed the release of Apple TV Plus, especially with the number of shows they have available on day one, because Disney just has this huge never-ending catalog and they just keep buying more and more companies, and now they just own everything. And that's pretty much what's happening with Disney. They own everything. They release their own streaming service. They're taking over the universe. I mean, there's nothing we can do to stop them at this point. Disney Plus is amazing. I'm sorry, it is. Like, if you haven't signed up, at least try it for a month. I bet you'll find something you like up there, especially with all the Marvel movies coming there. Just too much content. Mandalorian's awesome. Watch the first episode. Nothing else I can say about it. Congratulations, 10 million subscribers. Hopefully they can sustain those numbers, because I think that this is a promising streaming service. All right, getting down to the nitty gritty. It had been leaked a few times, but Motorola had been secretly working on a new smartphone that's old. They're bringing old back to new. I'm talking about the Motorola Resurrects, a super popular phone that I personally never had. But a lot of people had it. It was super thin back in the day. Very popular, dumb phone. You know, that was like kind of the pre-smartphone era. But they're bringing it back in smartphone form. So with a new folding OLED screen technology, they're bringing back that RAZR form factor with a folding screen, so you open it up and you get like the full screen, you know, full size, like basically a regular size phone. Now, the specs are going to be in line with a lot of the other flagship phones, and it's going to be a lot more expensive than those phones. It's going to be $1,500 because This folding screen technology is still new. Alright, give them a break. I think it's a cool looking phone. Obviously, I personally, and I know a lot of other people probably are going to pay $1,500 for basically what is a prototype. It's kind of like a test of this new technology. Same thing with the Galaxy Fold. It's like $2,000. It's a really cool phone. I really want to try it, but I'm not going to go out and buy one for that price. But I think what Motorola did here is compelling. This could actually be the design of smartphones in the future, because this makes a lot more sense. We're still getting the same size screens that we have now, but you can fold it up and stick it in your pocket a lot easier. Even is easier than this thing, and this is only a 5.8-inch screen. So I think that this is cool. I think it's pushing the technology forward. Of course, it does have the big chin. It has like a little notch at the top for people that are bothered by the notch thing. It also has a small screen on the front. I think it's like a 2.7-inch screen or something like that to do like minimal tasks with. You can take a selfie with it. You can see notifications, things like that. It's a very limited use, but at least they give you some functionality when the phone's closed, because that's obviously a big concern. Is maybe you just want to peek at your phone and see who's calling or see the message before you open it up to answer or respond to the message, etc., etc. So it's just nice to have that little screen, in my opinion, on the front. I'd say like folding screen phones maybe have like 2 or 3 more years before they're gonna be mass market, before they get the technology down, before they get rid of the folds and the gaps and all the other issues that it has, and they can deliver that full power at a reasonable price. Call me then. I will admire from afar. Until that point, I think the phone looks really cool. You should definitely have a look at it, check it out on your own, see what you think. And in our final story, Apple had another silent release this week as they just stealthily dropped another long-rumored product, the 16-inch MacBook Pro everybody's been waiting for. And now when I saw it, I was like, okay, cool. I was like, it's probably gonna be like $3 million, but that's fine. It's gonna be for the high end. And then I was surprised that it was only $2,400 starting off. And that model has a Core i7 9th generation, 16 gigs of RAM. That's even faster than last year's 15-inch model. 512 gigabytes of storage. They've really stepped it up, and of course it has the bigger screen. And then it has their redesigned scissor switch keyboard, which hopefully will fix all these keyboard issues that they've been having for the last few years. So overall, Apple actually did something reasonable, and they released the notebook at the same price with way better specs and a bigger screen. I was honestly shocked. I was, because I was expecting it to be like a high-end option over like the 15-inch, but they actually discontinued the 15-inch, so this is slid in its place. So it's pretty much like, you know, if you're already in the market for it and already planning to spend that money, you're getting a lot more for that $2,400 than you were previously. Now, obviously, for $2,400 on the Windows side, spec-wise, you could do better. But for a MacBook, and like I said, Apple really, their pricing is their pricing. If you buy a MacBook, you buy it, so it's rare that they ever give this much of an upgrade at the same price point. Now, for those people who bought a 2018 MacBook Pro around this time last year, you know, you should just be happy that, you know, Apple is making this experience available for people who haven't purchased one yet, or maybe that are on an older machine. You definitely shouldn't be upset about it. I mean, I bought a MacBook Pro this time last year, and I'm not upset about it. I'm happy for you people. I'm really happy for it. I'm happy for all of you, and I hope that you have a great rest of your lives. And your notebook, I needed that storage. I really needed that storage. I can't even install all my plugins for Logic Pro without running out of space on the hard drive. I needed that upgrade. I hate all of you. Just end the video. End the video. Alright, and that's going to bring this video to a conclusion. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure to tell a friend, tell a coworker, like, share, and subscribe. I'm not angry, and always do at least 2 things at the same time. Peace.